You know, Eric does a good job telling us a little bit about his experience with Julie, but you know, let's hear it from you. Who was Julie? Who was Julie?
Who is Julie? And we taught together at a private high school in Los Angeles. I taught history and she taught Latin. So we were kind of kindred spirits in terms of our disciplines and our backgrounds. And we started dating, and we had this one really powerful date. We had this long, deep conversation. This was our second, really our second date, maybe our third date total, but our second substantial date. Um, and I knew on that day, and she did too, that we were meant for each other, that we were supposed to be together, that we just felt right together. It was one of these loves of the ages, and I felt so blessed and so lucky. She was such a wonderful person, and we were so close too. I mean, we worked together. We were able to have this bonded life in all the parts of our lives were bonded in so many ways. And then finally she was pregnant with Thomas, and we were over the moon, overjoyed. And um, during labor, they found a tumor in one of her ultrasounds. And so that wonderful moment of joy was taken away from her, and she had to deal with her first cancer diagnosis just after Thomas was born. They removed a tumor, and she had chemo, so she couldn't even breastfeed Thomas, something that she had looked forward to for her whole life. She was really devastated, as you can imagine. But the years passed, and her numbers improved, and her hair grew back, and Thomas was thriving, and we thought really that we were in the clear. And we had our second child, Emma. It was when Emma was about a year and a half that her pain returned. And we thought it was sciatica, and then we thought it was something else. And basically, we just didn't want to admit that this was a recurrence of her cancer. And the treatment protocol that had worked the first time didn't work the second time. And so the doctors became more and more aggressive. And she really fought hard for almost 2 years that second time. And so when Emma was 3 and Thomas was 7, she passed away in 2005. Her faith was complicated, as is mine, and I think as is all of our faiths. Transcendence and eternity and mortality and suffering and joy, these are all very, very complex and deep, multi-layered human experiences, and it takes works of art sometimes to help process it. And that's partly why I wanted to write Sacred Veil, and why maybe my unconscious mind left that poem on Eric's music stand, so that he would see it and maybe begin a journey that would allow me to purge all of this and to process it and share it in a way that can bring peace to other people.